One.
Hey guys, back again for another video with Dillon here from CBC Exotics. We're going to be talking about some Burmese pythons in this one. So why don't you talk about these babies here? I'm assuming these are 2019s?
Yep, these are from this year. The only clutch I produced last year, I gave everybody else the year off. This is an albino green. She was my smallest I had this year. And I have a thing for runt, so she's staying with me. Dan's holding the pearl green, which is exactly this animal plus hypo, which in Burmese is an incomplete dominant, has a super form. 2 hypos make a white snake. Everybody loves a white snake. What? You want to close it?
A little hard to see.
Yeah, this is actually a pretty nice albino green. Kind of striped, but broken up pattern at the same time. And then on the pearl green, you have pretty much a patternless animal, like a hypo green would look. I mean, you do have the occasional, dot down the back of hypo greens. With these pearl greens, I don't have any of that. Killer animals, super bright, but they kind of just look like a yellow ivory until you look at the eyes. So, I mean, more of a genetic powerhouse than an aesthetically pleasing animal. I think it's beautiful, but that's also because I know what it is. But yeah, we're hoping for a lot of cool stuff this year with Burmese, but it's hard to beat a good green. I love greens.
Now, I'm assuming the mother to this one is the one we're going to pull out after eventually, or no?
The mother, yeah, the mother of these is the pearl. Yeah, we'll get her out, give you an idea what they look like.
I saw a little piece of tape on there with the number of eggs and everything.
Yep.
So I figured that must be.
Those are the only Burms we bred last year. One and done.
Nice.
But yeah, we'll get on to something a little bigger than that. You've seen some babies. See that?
You want me to put them away while you do the other stuff?
Yeah, that's fine.
You're putting them in the tub right here?
Yeah. Can you get him up? Please. My assistant doesn't want to be on the camera. She's a little shy. And her name's Shy, by the way. Oh, and she's short, a little shy. How good.
All right. Come on, guys.
Bring it to me. Here she is. Look how short.
Hello.
Come on, look. It's a different world down here. Well, Danny just playing with his tiny snakes.
Yeah, I'm used to it. A lot of experience.
Yeah, we know. This is Gerald. He's a holdback from, what, 2016? He'll be, no, I think he's a 20, I don't remember. But this is my first clutch of greens I ever produced. What does it say on the cage?
I think it says 2017.
It's definitely 2017.
Yeah, okay, that's why, because I thought he was 2 years old. But he's a super bright green, nice kind of silvery gray sides. This is my wife's snake. She picked them out. She made sure that I'm telling you that. I'm kind of really focusing on line breeding greens, going for this bright, clean, none of that splotchy stuff you see with a lot of secondary genes mixing. You see the het granites, and they got the side pattern. I like green to be classic green, also referred to as patternless Burms, so I'm kind of going for that look. As little pattern as possible with the brightest color you can get. And so far it's proving very fruitful. This boy is killer.
Yeah, he's nice looking.
I love him. Absolutely. And yeah, she wouldn't let me get rid of him, so he stayed.
Good decision. At least somebody around.
Yeah.
There, you know?
Yeah, so I'm the rash decision making.
I understand.
But yeah, he's a super nice green. He's gonna do some really cool stuff for the line breeding here in the next few years. And I'm almost positive that is who got the big green girl at the bottom this year. It was either that or the hypo green. So when everything comes out, we'll know. But I'm hoping it was him. I really just want some nice greens.
Nice. And now is she het at all, or is she just?
No, she.
She's het albino, you said, right?
Yes, yeah. He's a het albino. She is not. The father was an albino green, so he's 100% het albino, which also may have something to do with his color. As a lot of people know that work with Burmese, that there are somewhat of markers for hets. Granted, to kind of get distorted pattern. Greens will give you a blocky pattern. Het albino seems to be more bright. But yeah, so green het albino, super nice. I love him, and hopefully this year he becomes a proven green het albino. Yeah. Anyway, here you go, baby.
You going into the trash next?
Yeah, we'll do the trash snakes, but they're not trash.
Oh, they're all coming out.
Which one do you want, Danich?
I don't care.
Pick your poison.
Grab this one since it's close.
This is a holdback. Yeah, that's pissing.
Yeah, somebody did. One of
Somebody
them.
pissed. Burns like to piss. So yeah, since he's got that, oh yeah, lots of piss. Good times.
As soon as I opened it, I smelt it.
Oh yeah, lovely. So we're gonna need a shower after this video. But these are actually siblings. Night and day difference.
Turn them around.
This is an ivory granite from my big hypogranite that you probably can't see because she's kind of tucked back in the corner there, snuggling with her boyfriend. So this is a hypogranite. As I said, 2 hypos make a white snake, as you see here. The only reason I know that this is actually visually a granite is because I bred a hypogranite to a hypogranite. 2 granites together make all granites. So he's guaranteed hypogranite. Dan and I's friend actually has duplicates of these snakes.
Oh, yeah.
In flip-flop, she has a female ivory granite and a male hypogranite. Hey, Katie.
She deserves it. Definitely deserves it.
But yeah, this girl is a little more picky when it food. She'll eat rats, but she only likes smaller rats than she is around, which is weird. But if you give her a guinea pig, she'll take anything, any size, doesn't matter. She's all about it. And this guy will eat anything, but
Caramel's on the move.
stop it. I know you don't want to sit and piss either. We'll clean you up. But yeah, hypogranite is my absolute favorite combo when it comes to Burmese. As of now, we're working on some projects that could change that, but I'm also working on getting hypogranite into that. But I personally think that the granite in the ivory makes an extremely white animal. When I get something else out later, we're going to get another ivory I have out that's an ivory lab or het lab. We're not sure yet. Time will tell. That is completely different from this animal. Super high yellow in the back, really white sides, kind of like a traditional ivory. That's generally what you see with ivories. I think the granite helped this big time, and it produced a lot of reduced pattern granites. So I don't know if that has anything to do with that as well. But I do plan on repeating this pairing one day, just because this is some of the
I like it.
nicest
I like the subtle,
ivories.
like the yellow. You almost can't see it.
Right,
Yet it's
right.
still there.
There's a hint of yellow and a lot of white.
Yeah.
And all the ivories, I don't know if it has to do with 2 strains of hypo in Burmese pythons or not, but there is black eye and blue eye ivory Burmese, kind of like leucistic and other stuff, but this technically isn't like a true leucistic. There's too much yellow, too much color still. But, I mean, once in a while you'll get the dual eye too. You'll get a black eye, blue eye. I don't know if they're compatible, if they're different strains or what, but it's kind of cool.
I'd say it'd be interesting to see if one's more dominant than
Right,
the other or
right.
what.
But all of these came out black eye. I produced 7 ivory granites out of that clutch. Every one of them was solid black eyes, didn't have any blue eyes. But the girl we'll get out here in a bit has black eyes. But I also have her sibling from the year prior to her being produced, which has blue eyes. So that kind of takes that theory into a different direction. But I'm going to put her back. Get out another female I've been raising up. Also, lovely, covered in piss. I guess I should have kind of prepared for that, putting them all in the tub. But this is a caramel, Gulf Coast, produced by Charles DiStefano, a friend of mine down in Maryland. Great guy, if you're into berms. And you don't get it from me, I recommend Charles. But she is a bit over a year old. I don't know, it's hair under 6 foot, not too big, probably about 5 1/2, 5 3/4. Lovely animal, great attitude. And she is quite a bit different from a male caramel. I think he has a chance of being het albino because he's so bright compared to her. But either way, she's a gorgeous animal. This is a caramel albino, aka T-positive albino, versus the classic albino. I don't know if you can see, but kind of like that in Burmese. But super cool snake. I don't want to keep you guys too long, so we're going to put her back and move on to the next couple, and then I have one special for the end. But we get her back. Here.
So much for not seeing me coming.
Smells great. Great. Thank you, baby.
You're such a burn.
This is more of your classic ivory. Has the yellow, not quite as white as the ivory granite we just saw. Now this is either a visual lab or a het lab. Not sure yet. I've never done anything with her. Time will tell. Great eater, but as you can see, the high yellows on the back here, completely different from that animal with almost no yellow whatsoever. And then she got the white sides.
Keep so you can see the yellow.
It's almost, you know, equally divided. Kind of a lot like you see in the pied Burms nowadays that aren't super high white yet. They have that heavy back pattern and really white sides, but obviously no pied in this. Hey, what are you doing?
She's coming out. She's ready.
This other girl is going to get out. She decided to kind of be proactive for me. This is the mother to the albino green and the pro green from the beginning of the video. She's not small, but she's not giant. She's not quite as big as my green or my hypogran in there. She's, I don't know, probably a bit over 12, 13, something like that. I haven't done that in a while. But, gorgeous animal. This is a pearl, which is hypo and albino mixed. So you got an incomplete dominant, which obviously has a super form, which is the ivory, and albino mixed. Incomplete dominant and a recessive gene. This is also het green, which, like I said with the het markers, it's never a guarantee, but it gives you an idea. But this heavy blocky pattern, everything is kind of square, it's all uniform going down the back. That's a good indicator that you're gonna have a chance of producing greens out of that animal, even if you don't know the lineage. Which, I mean, if you're gonna breed, I always recommend knowing what you're doing genetically. You don't want to just produce to produce. Because that's how...
I say that ladder pattern in Burms is always like around when you have stuff.
Right.
You see it a lot.
And it is nice with Burms because a lot of stuff does seem to have the het markers. Ah, she's a big girl.
Give me a workout.
This is Chiquita, my yellow girl. She's super sweet. But, still not sure if I'm going to do anything with her this year yet. So far, she hasn't been very receptive, so I'm not going to push it. She went last year. Generally, I like to give a year off. But this year, we should have lots of fun stuff. Possibly caramels, maybe some labs. Always the albino stuff.
Is that comfortable?
Maybe hypogrants. We'll see what takes with that.
Yeah. It's weird having worked with Burms so many years ago, what's available now compared to what was available, 15, 20
Absolutely,
years ago.
especially with all this crazy stuff popping up that we thought we would never see.
No, I mean, it was like, I remember green was exciting. When green came out, it still is. I like green, I always have.
I remember when the first grants were produced in Italy, it was huge. Everybody was so excited.
Everybody wanted one. Everybody had, I had mine. He was a very cool snake. They seem to be, in my experience with the granites, they seem to be so hardy. Like Burms are notoriously iffy with stuff, and they were just like rock solid, wherever line they came from.
Gotta keep them clean, gotta keep them warm.
Yeah.
They are definitely not bulletproof, but they are hardy animals. They're, when it comes to large constrictors, for the most part, very, very well-tempered animal. I've grown very fond of them over the years. And then we got one more. I would get out something even bigger, but one girl's grabbing, the other girl's building. I don't want to disturb her. But I am going to show you her boyfriend, who I've been very excited about. A very close friend of mine and I went in on this project. I keep the male here breeding all my girls because I have all the nice combo girls and the big girls. But he's raising up our female. By the way, don't ever do that. Don't crawl in a giant cage with a Burm. It's a bad idea. This is my favorite animal that I trust almost as much as my wife. And I mean, she's nowhere even looking close to me right now. Her head's in the exact opposite direction, but I need this boy.
So funny, because I expected these guys to have such an attitude just based on being a newer gene. And
absolutely, especially with how new they are. This is a pied, bald, het albino Burmese python. The newest genetic strain in the United States as of now. There's a few other things popping up. I've seen champagne. We got silver-sided butterscotch now, some dwarf stuff coming around. The Burmese game's really stepping up, and I thank everybody that's made that possible for us. But this was a dream project from the moment I've seen Alan Way post them. Absolutely amazing animals, and they're not like the pied retic. The pied retics, the heavy gray on the back, really generally a lower white animal. You get the ones with the white heads and all that, but this displays more like a ball python would. You get the back pattern, you get the side splotches coming up. The male is actually kind of low white, still gorgeous, has that weird distorted pattern like a ball python would, where they do have pattern.
So do they have, you know, some of these where like they're predominantly white?
Yes, there are. There's not a lot in the States right now.
It'll be interesting to see too, and you don't know because you're mixing them with all these morphs that haven't really been done. But
right.
You interesting to see the stuff like with spider where it wipes out and you get nothing.
Right.
You know?
That's the exciting part. I think granite and green could do great things with this because the reduction of pattern on a green, theoretically, should reduce a lot of this wacky gold and distorted stuff we have going on. And I think all in all, it'll give us a predominantly white animal. Same thing with granite, but granite's so variable where you have the heavy speckled granites that are, you know, super high black, and then you have the super reduced pattern granites that I think could do kind of the same thing I'm thinking green's gonna do. I also think hypo in this will be phenomenal. I think a lot of the green will go away. Those heavy yellows and golds you see in the background are gonna come out. And the cool thing about these guys, I don't know how well you can see them, but you got the white, you got greens, you got grays, you got yellows, golds, everything's in this snake. He's just amazing. Absolutely a dream to work with. Never thought in a million years I'd see one, let alone own one. I want to thank Dom for making it possible for me to even get these guys. Without you, I would have never been able to afford a pair. I love you, man. You're awesome. And keep raising the girl. But yeah, this is definitely a project of a lifetime for me. I couldn't be more grateful. And hopefully he's going with that hypogranite and we can make some cool stuff this year. Everything's looking good. So I'm not going to hold my breath, but could be cool.
Alrighty. So any other burn projects that you didn't touch on?
I mean, we're trying to get pied and everything at this point, but he's so young, I'm not stressing him out. I don't want him with a bunch of females this year.
Right.
What do we got? Possibly, she's also been with a hypogranite, so it could be a repeat pairing of what we just showed you with that hypogranite and that ivory granite, but I'm really hoping this boy takes. He's been locking, he's been courting, she's been building. We got the caramels hopefully this year. I'm breeding a caramel to a double het caramel green. One of my bigger ivory labs who we're not going to mess with just because she's in shedding on the bottom there. She's a year older than the ivory granite that Dan had out. Maybe some labs out of her if everything goes well. And the greens. We're definitely going to have greens this year. But other than that, I'm not expecting too much on burns. I don't want to have too many.
Yeah.
I don't want to flood the market. I'd like to keep everything strong the way it is.
Big clutches.
Right, big clutches equals a lot of babies. We don't want to be a Pruitt around here. We don't need a Samson for berms, so we're gonna avoid that.
No, we don't.
Fuck you, Samson. Yeah,
Can't
and
argue
that.
Oh man.
Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you liked it. If you're looking for berms, hit me up. If not, I got other people that'll help you out too. Charles DiStefano's a great guy. Brendan Klein's a great guy. Travis Knoll's a great guy. Stay away from Bob. Stay away from Jay, and you'll be golden.
So yeah. Thank you.